Hi, Dr. Klaper. How you doing?
Good.
I had two quick questions. One is, what is your decision about algae oil? I know you sent samples in and you were conflicted about algae oil. And then also, would you recommend, as Dr. Joel Furman suggests, to avoid brown rice because of arsenic?
The second one's easier. I weed very little rice now because of the damn arsenic, and we fouled the nest, and it's catching up with us. So we mostly, when we want grains, it's mostly quinoa and millet and buckwheat these days. We rice maybe once a month. So yes, I'm with Dr. Furman on that one. As far as the algae oil, there's a very strong argument made to take it and not to take it. I'm still in the not taking it camp yet. I was about to say, I better start taking it again. But I've done more reading and more research, and I don't want to get into the weeds too much on the metabolism of DHA, et cetera. But my concern is the folks who have the low omega index, low omega-3 index, and mine is down at 3.7 or whatever. That's just what shows up in the blood. What it doesn't tell you is that the alpha-linolenic acid that's in the flax seeds and the chia seeds, et cetera, is stored in the tissues, and the body turns that into long-chain fatty acids in the tissues. It doesn't show up in the blood. In fact, it wouldn't make sense for the body to take the linolenic acid in the flax seeds and chia seeds and turn it all the way into DHA, because the 5 intermediate steps, the SDA, the ETA, those the body uses them for cell membrane construction and prostaglandins, et cetera. And if you go right into DHA, then you wind up inhibiting the enzymes that make these other substances get inhibited. So I'm wondering, what are we really doing? And that it might be just a clumsy, heavy-handed way to just come in with this end product DHA. What about all the precursors above that? Didn't the body need those as well? So I'm afraid in our good intent, we might really be skewing a very sensitive mechanism here. So I started taking it a couple for a week or so, and then I've read more about it, and I've pulled back again. So don't deprive yourself of the linolenic acid. You've got to have the flax seeds and chia seeds and hemp seeds and dark green leafy vegetables and walnuts. Absolutely keep them in there. But I'm not so sure that just because your omega-3 blood test is low, that your brain tissue is shockingly low. I have yet to be convinced of that. So I'm still doing more research, and so I still have not started taking the DHA. I've got it in the fridge, but I look at it and say, I'm not sure what I'm doing when I'm taking this. What am I doing to those enzyme steps further up there? And we know too little to say it's a good thing to be doing. So I'm still on the not taking it fence, but I may jump over the other side. I'll let you know as I do more research.
Well, the previous speaker said also the rancidity is an issue, whether it's fish oil or even algae oil. And he said it could also lead to cancer if it's rancid. And he said most algae oils are rancid.
I've heard that as well. It's a concern. It's kind of an unnatural product to distill those oils there, get them out of foods. And again, the conversion takes place in your brain cells, muscle cell, liver cells, not out in the bloodstream. And so I'm putting less and less weight on your omega-3 index. What is it really telling you? It's not telling you what's happening in your brain tissue.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, thanks for that. Next we have Ainsley. Ainsley, please ask your question.
Hi, Dr. Ainsley from Trinidad. It looks like we are neighbors. My question is, vegan now, 1 year, 8 months. How long does it take for our cells in our body to purge itself from the meat that we ate before? That's my first question. And my second question, you mentioned something about coconuts. I normally take my afternoon walk around a big park, and being tropical, we have the coconut vendors there selling coconuts. Is it good to have a coconut water after we exercise?
Oh, I think coconut water after you exercise is lovely. It is ambrosia. I've been told, I've not seen medical validation, but that it is so close to human plasma that in a pinch, the people who start an IV and run the coconut water in. But I think it's a lovely rehydration beverage. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of coconut water, especially after a walk. How long does it take your cells to clear? Especially with this high water content diet, most of these contaminants will flush out when you go fully plant-based. After 90 days, I would say most of them are pretty clear. Your body's constantly turning over cells, etc. Over the course of 3 months, I think you're pretty much in the clear. Certainly 6 months, you got pretty much a plant-based body there.
The next person up is Nicole. Nicole, you've been unmuted. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and greetings from Germany. Do you have any advice or any experience for someone who's suffering from a perineal paralysis, a drop foot, following a surgery, a hip surgery? And I'm not asking for a friend.
I'm sorry, what is the condition? I missed the name of the condition. What is the person suffering?
Well, they hit a nerve doing a hip surgery, and now I have a drop foot. It's a perineal paralysis. And I was wondering if there's anything I can do food-wise to enhance nerve, the reversal of the whole thing.
Right. How long ago was the surgery? Recently or years ago?
It was like 20 months ago.
Okay. At this, there are foods. Again, you're someone, because the myelin sheath on nerves involves healthy fats. And the lignans, etc. Flax seeds are, I would have ground flax on your cereal pretty much on a regular basis. You want to eat lots of root vegetables for the minerals that are in them, because your body's got lots of repair to do. The thing to do is not to despair and to persevere. Nerves take forever to heal. They are the slowest healing tissue in the body. It may take years before you finally get some movement back there. So don't let those muscles atrophy. Keep working with the physiotherapist, do the exercises at home, do whatever you can do to keep those muscles moving. Collateral nerves can open up to start innervating those muscles that the main perineal nerve isn't doing any longer. So keep working and don't despair. You've got a year or two of intensive work to do, and with little luck, you'll get a fair amount of this repair back again.
The next question is from Honor. Going to unmute you if you could ask your question.
Yes, I'm wondering how much genetics is affected by all of this, because my family has hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, VHL, Rett, and rheumatoid arthritis within just 2 generations of us. So I know at least I will benefit with it, but what can you do about the genetic part?
Oh, it's huge, and don't mean to minimize it at all. And genetics are so powerful on so many levels. Determining your eye colors, everything about us. Only now are we starting to get a little peek through that crack in the door there that we used to think, when I was in med school, your genes are your fate, man. Whatever your genes call for, that's the disease you're going to get. Well, now we know that we can turn those genes on and off by our diet, our lifestyle, stress levels, etc. So I agree, that's a heavy hand that you've been dealt with there, no question. And you're probably going to have some versions of these conditions showing up. You want to keep them as modest as possible as far as your heart muscle goes and your joints go, etc. Keep your gut healthy as far as a leaky gut, etc. And you do the best you can. It's it still comes down to the same point: eat a whole food, plant-based diet, and stay active, man. Keep that heart strong. Keep those joints moving. Avoid the obvious inflammatory thing, fried foods and processed foods, etc. And you do the best you can. And And eventually, as we're seeing with animals, et cetera, even though the strain of animals may have a genetic propensity, if you change the diet of mother-daughter, by the 5th or 6th generation, the gene is much less expressed. So I think I caught a little bit of that question in your what you were posing there. So again, a whole food plant-based diet, and use those joints, and it'll be what it'll be. And you do the best with the genetic hand you've been dealt.